first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
And we are back with more Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I say it every time, and I mean it every time. So whether you're watching on social media, on YouTube, Facebook, our website, or our apps, a great way to watch is on the apps. I will recommend that because then you can watch all of our segments right there on whatever device you're on. We do appreciate you being here, though. So right now, though, it is Thursday at 1:30. So if you're a regular watcher of this show, you know that this is the time that we have the one and only Eric Goranson from around the house Northwest joining us to talk about. I think there's something on the background camera. I just saw like a fluttering on that, so we got a live shot of Seaside there. I think a seagull just came into the shot.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Eric, thank you for being here.
Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you.
And I will say this topic is something that I was very much interested in discussing, and it's how to get up onto your roof safely. Because I've got a home, and I'm terrified of going up on my roof. I really am. I'm clumsy. I'm afraid I'm going to fall, and I know I need to get up there because I got to take care of a few things. But getting up there safely and getting over my fear of it would be very beneficial to getting some of that stuff done. And I know you've got some recommendations.
You know, and it starts out first with just getting the right ladder, right? I mean, sometimes you have something that's too short and you're up there trying to get up on it and you're starting out on the wrong foot, right? It's just not getting up there correctly. So make sure that if you've got an extension ladder, if you're getting up onto the roof surface, that really needs to come up 3 feet beyond the edge of the roof so you have something to hold on to when you get up there. That's the first thing. If you're just getting to the very tip and then you're having to climb up, that's a whole different and worse situation.
Yeah, that's so make sure that you have 3 feet above the roof line or 3 feet above.
That's what I like.
Line.
I like to have 3 feet, so I've got something to hold on to. And then make sure that it's rated for you. You know, you can have a ladder that's rated for 200 pounds, but you also got to think, are you carrying a 75-pound bundle of roofing on there with you? So think about what the maximum weight is of your weight and then whatever you're carrying at the same time. It's pretty easy to overload those. And though it might not fail, it could, especially if that ladder's been sitting out in the weather for a long time. Those ratings are when they're perfect, and the more abuse they get. That's why a lot of the companies out there, you see the cable guys and the electricians and stuff out there, they only have those ladders for 4 or 5 years, and then they replace them because of the weathering and the abuse they get day in and day out.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you just kind of think that, oh yeah, it's going to be fine. It's metal, but no, there's certainly a lifespan on those. So
yeah, metal, fiberglass, the wood ones are the worst, right? Those are the ones that start getting cracked. And so many people just have them sitting out like under the deck or out in the back or side of the house because they're big and they're clunky.
Right. But watch out for that. So pay attention to the ratings and the lifespan of them.
And then the next thing is there is a cool, it's a NIOSH ladder safety app for your phone. Because people put the angle on the ladder wrong. So you'll either put it too high, so it's too steep, or too far out where it wants to kick out on you. And it's really cool. You can just take your smartphone, put the ladder up there, set your phone on the wrong, and it'll tell you if you have the right angle automatically, so you're safe that way.
What is the name of this app again?
It's NIOSH, NIOSH. Just look up ladder safety on the apps. It'll pop up, and there'll be a few of those different apps on there, and you can put it on your phone. And that way you can always test out your ladder to make sure you have the right angle. So that way you're not doing the, Christmas vacation and sliding off the roof, shall we say.
Yes, that's what I'm worried about. So I love that. So technology to help you out with that. So NIOSH ladder app.
Yeah, ladder safety app. And then there's a cool new product we just talked to the founder on a few weeks ago. It is a ladder grip. So this is Lockjaw ladder grip. And so what this does is it grabs around the gutter right here. So it snaps in the gutter, and then there's a metal bracket here that clamps around the outside of the ladder. So that way that snaps on, and you'll see that in an upcoming episode of Around the House. But I tell you what, this is one of those products that'll lock your ladder to the gutter so it doesn't slide off.
Nice. And is this something you can pick up at any kind of hardware store?
Home improvement store, Amazon, anywhere like that. So you can grab those things. You can jump online and grab them too. But that'll be not this week's, but next week's episode of Around the House. We'll have it over there. So that's a good one. And you can never be too safe with that. But the big thing is, what do you do when you're up on the roof, right?
Right. You get up there. and then you know, that's where I think my biggest issue is what happens when I get
Yeah.
there.
So what you do is you're going to spend a couple $100 on this, but it's a good way to go. So what you're going to do is buy these brackets, and you're going to nail these on certain points around your roof out there. So that way you can put in your harness and your rope. And this is about $100 kit right here. And it is your whole different harness. So you could put it on, you're tied off. You're just like any other roofer out there or any other roof cleaning company, and you're tied off. So if you fall, it's going to catch you before you bounce.
Nice. So you go up there first. You put these those brackets on there that you have.
Just put them on. You can tell, you know, high points up there. Good solid place to nail them in. And once you got them nailed in, they're permanent there. So you just leave them there. So every time you're going up to put up the holiday lights or doing that, you know, monthly or bi-monthly roof cleaning or maintenance or whatever, you can get up there and tie off. And that way you've got a harness and you're not going to fall. And if you do fall, you're not going to hit the ground. So, you know, there'll be a little shock of that catching you, but it's better than the alternative.
Definitely better than the alternative. All right. And then that kit that you have there, that's got the harness and everything else in it.
Exactly. Harness, the rope, all that stuff. And you can get those at your home improvement retailer. They got them on the shelf there because it's code these days for everybody to have that. If you're basically up over 6 feet, I think technically, if you're higher than a 6-foot step ladder, in theory, if you're a contractor out there, you got to be tied off nowadays with the new ladder rules that they put in a few years ago. So harnesses are it. So that's why when you're driving around and you see all these roofing guys up there, they've got all those harnesses on because they're just following the safety rules.
That's great to know. And I love that idea, though. So you could just get up there and do that once. And then so you get up onto the roof, you just tie off onto those points. And then, you're good to go. All right.
That's super easy that way. And that way you'll be safe. So, and if you have another professional that comes up there, you've already got those in there as well for them. So it's a good way to go, and it's a safe way to go. So I'll be mounting that one up here once the weather gets a little bit better, that I feel comfortable getting on the roof and it's not so slimy up there, so I can get up and install it myself, because my ladder safety hasn't been the perfect one either.
Yeah, definitely going to wait until it's dry. But then we'll 100% be putting those in there. So thank you very much. This is all great information, I think, for a lot of people to know, because a lot of people, I think, do some risky behavior when you're getting up there, and it's not worth it. I've
done it. I think everybody's done it at least once, where you're like, oh, that was a bad idea, but I got away with it. And sooner or later, you don't.
Yeah. You can't get away with it every single time. So, and you don't
Absolutely.
You don't want that time when it doesn't. Well, this is great. Well, thank you, Eric. Anything else with that, or should we talk about Around the House Northwest for this one?
Yeah, just those ladder apps have a lot of safety tips on them as well. There's a lot of little things to follow out there as far as the ground you're putting it on, and there's a ton of new ladder accessories. Like there's a lot of different ladders out there that have adjustable legs. So if you're on uneven ground, you can level the ladder up before you put it up. So ladder technology has changed, and they've made it a lot easier to be a lot safer out there with the new ladders in the market.
Well worth it. Definitely well worth it. All right, let's talk about, also just there was a tease in there for next week's episode, but let's talk about this week's episode.
This week's episode, I had a bucket list item this week, and that's kind of rare to hit those, but I actually got to do it. I know a lot of glass artists out there. In my design career in the 2000s in Seattle, I was working with some amazing people designing out like vessel sinks that were blown glass and light fixtures, but I never made one. So I went over to Firehouse Glass in Vancouver and went over there, and we built a light fixture by hand blowing glass. And it was the most amazing thing, the funnest build I've ever done.
That says a lot. You've been on a lot of different builds. This is the funnest thing that you've ever done when it comes to this.
It was incredible. I can't wait to go over there. I think this is going to be a very expensive hobby going forward, because it was such a great time. And I can't wait to see the whole segment when it's done. It was just one of those things where we got in there, and Greg, the owner, founder over there, he was a great teacher. They were just so awesome. And taking something that is a liquid and solid and 2,000 degrees and getting to make it into something and seeing it transform as you're working with it. I'm so used to working with wood, right? And so when you're working with wood, you're sanding, you're staining, you're cutting, but you never see this like fluid transformation. It was such a great time. Can't wait to get over and do it again.
That is really cool. So that's going to be on this week's episode. And I mean, that alone was already selling it, but what else can you give away? I know there's.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do my start at phase 1 of my home office makeover. So, my home office used to be one of the kids' bedrooms, and of course they went off to college, so I took that over for my home office, and it was just a normal white painted room. So we're tried a new plastering technique where we actually took sheetrock mud and paint and mixed those two together, and then plastered it on the wall, and then repainted the whole room this really cool dark and moody color. So that's kind of the first step of the process. But it's been big on the internet, and I wanted to see what that plastering technique was and how it turned out, and I can't wait to show you that one.
All right, so that's on this week. So phase 1 of that, of the office makeover.
You got it.
You want to share, or should we just tell?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about a lot of different things as far as how to use those metal deck hangers correctly, like the metal joist hangers and all those brackets. There's a lot of science to those, and so many people go, I'm just going to put all these little things in here, and I'm just going to put the nails in those metal joist brackets, and you might be doing it wrong. So we're going to talk about the right way to do it and how to find out when you buy those brackets at the home improvement store if you're actually putting the right fasteners and the right amount of them in them. So we've got a few little things like that. Whether you're building a deck or a barn or anything else, there's a lot of good information in that one.
All right. And all of that plus more is on this week's episode of Around the House Northwest, which also, by the way,
6 more episodes, 6 more segments of that. So I just talked a little bit about it.
6 more segments in addition to those, and which, by the way, I believe congratulations is in order.
Thanks.
Is it 1 season is already done now?
You got it. This is going to be season 1, episode 1 of season 2. So show 53. So we've done 52. Wow. 53 is on Saturday. So yeah, we've done this for a year already, and now we've got over 310 videos up on that. So it's pretty crazy how much content we've created in a year.
It's a lot of content, and I just want to say, as somebody who also does segments and stuff, I can't believe you put out that many segments in an episode every single week, and you've done that for 52 weeks already. Now going on to the 53rd, and that's a pretty incredible accomplishment.
Thanks. I got to give credit to Bradley, who is doing just as big as Paul and I, and of course Ryan, who helps us out as well. If the 3 of us didn't have this going, we would have been in trouble. But all that hard work paid off and got us there. And of course, all the people out there that have enjoyed the show. We're just getting started. And of course, the advertisers that keep paying the bills for us.
Yeah, very important part of that. And we do have a lot of the segments too at Fox 12 Oregon's website, so kptv.com. You can go there and check out a lot of the segments that you've covered over this last year. But this week's episode, the new stuff, let's tell everybody where and when and how they can watch.
You got it. So that'll up 10 o'clock a.m. on Saturday, Fox 12 Plus. So 10 a.m. there. Then it'll re-air 6 o'clock on Sunday, again on Fox 12 Plus. And then, of course, Friday morning at 8 a.m., same channel, Fox 12 Plus. So you'll see that. If you missed last week's, don't worry. You can catch it tomorrow morning at 8.
Nice. All right. So lots of opportunities right there. And Eric, really appreciate, every time that you're here on this show and sharing all this knowledge. Seriously, that this segment is going to help me out. So it's quite a bit.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. But yeah, I think that's about it for this segment. So thank you everybody for joining us too. This is Fox 12 now, and if this is your first time watching this show, we've been doing this for a little while, but this is live streaming, so we get to have a little bit more freedom on the format and have discussions, and we appreciate your feedback too. So if you are watching on Facebook and YouTube, feel free to drop in a comment, or if you have a question for Eric, maybe we can get that to him and see if we can get that answered for you. So that's another thing that we can do here with this as well, because it's interactive on top of everything.
Got it.
All right. Well, thanks everybody, and thank you, Eric. We'll sign off for right now. If there's breaking news, I'll be back on whatever platform you're watching, but I will be over on the website and the apps right now, right after this, with some additional content you're not going to see other places. So we'll be discussing some other videos that are going on, some other news stories from around the country. So that's going to be happening right now. Good time to download the app, head to the website. I'll see you there. I'm Greg Dibler. This is Fox 12 Now.